Do you think coaching youth baseball is just about teaching kids how to play baseball? Well, if that's what you think, then today's video is for you. Today's video, I'm going over 7 things that most people, including parents, don't realize about coaching youth baseball. Hey team, welcome to another Bullpen Bulletin with Coach Hart and Building Better Baseball. This is the best place for baseball education. So let's have an honest conversation today and let's get into the 7 things that most people, including parents, don't realize about coaching youth baseball. So before we get into this video, I just want to say that I understand that everybody has a unique experience when it comes to coaches and youth baseball, and I understand that different things can happen, and these 7 things do not apply to all coaches. But I just want to say that this video is more of a general statement about most youth coaches, because most youth coaches are there for good and they really want to help your kids succeed and their team succeed. But like I said, I understand that there are unique situations that everybody has with different coaches, and these 7 things may not apply to those unique situations. But this video, I'm not talking about those unique situations. This is a more general video talking about most youth coaches. So number 1 is the fact that most youth coaches are volunteers and they are learning as they go as well. And that's something that parents don't really think about. Maybe they realize it, but they don't really think about it, that most youth coaches, they are, first of all, volunteers. They're not getting paid for what they do. And most of them do not have a rich baseball background. Like maybe they didn't play professionally, or they didn't play even in college. They may have had some high school experience, maybe not, right? Most youth coaches, they're volunteers. Maybe they volunteered so that your kid could get on the field, or there could be a team, right? There are so many situations where parents get kind of roped into volunteer coaching. And that's one thing that I really want parents to think about when they're setting expectations for their coach and the development of their child. Just if you are really searching for that higher development for your child, maybe just to go research some coaches who have a rich baseball background, or they played professionally, or they really know much more than what a normal or typical volunteer coach would be, right? So always be aware that most coaches are volunteers and they are learning as they go as well. Number 2 is practice time is limited and the real development happens at home. And this speaks to the practice time that you have during the week, right? Most coaches or most teams have 2 practices per week. Most of them are 2 hours per practice. Some have 1, some have 1 per week. Regardless of the time frame that you have, the practice time itself is there for the coach to coach the team as a whole, right? They do not have all of the time in the world to focus individually on each child, right? And they also have to not only teach individual skills, but they also have to teach team-oriented things, right? Like rundowns and bunts and do all these things in that 2-hour practice time, right? So what should happen is the coach should give each child something that they should work on. They should give them drills. They should give them guidance, right? They should give them the tools that the child needs to then go home and take it home and then have them practice at home, right? And that is where the real development happens, with guidance from a coach, all right? A lot of parents, I believe, they think that during the practice time is where all the development happens, and that is not always true, right? That's not always true, and most of the time, the coach has other things that they're focusing on with the team itself, and each individual child needs to get guidance from their coach and get the tools that they need from their coach, but the real development and the reps and everything happens at home. So always remember that just the real development happens at home, because the practice time that you have with your team is limited during the week. Number 3 is coaches genuinely want your child to succeed. And like I said, I understand that there are unique situations, but most coaches, no matter what kind of background they have, no matter what kind of experience or coaching experience, volunteer, not paid, whatever, they want children to succeed in baseball, right? And not only baseball, in life as well. And I feel like a lot of parents, they see that their child may not be performing on the field the way that they like, or they may think that they're, not playing the position that they think they should, and they have all of these like thoughts about the coach, and they kind of get almost a warped mindset or a warped view of the coach himself because of the child's performance. But just always remember that most cases, your coaches genuinely want your child to succeed. And they want that for every child, right? All 11, 12, 13, however many kids are on the team, they want every single kid to succeed. And they genuinely want them to improve and develop. All right, so always keep that in the back of your mind as a parent or as a guardian or someone who is an onlooker or an outside person looking in on the practice or the game and watching the performance and the development. Always just keep in the back of your mind, coaches, they're good people. They're good people and they want your child to succeed. So always keep that in mind when you have kind of these thoughts of oh, the coach doesn't like my kid, or they don't want their kid to develop or whatever. When you have those thoughts, keep that in the back of your mind that every single coach, most of the time, right? I know that there are unique situations. Every single coach wants every one of their team players to succeed. Number 4 is coaches see kids differently than parents do. And we do not see each individual kid, right, as much as how we see them fit in the entire system of the team. All right. So as a coach, we have an outside look of the entire team, and we are assessing and looking at each individual child and how they fit in the system of the team. All right. And I feel like a lot of parents may have this preconceived notion or this kind of idea that they want their kid to play shortstop, or they want their kid to bat first, or wherever. They have these preconceived ideas of what they want for their child. And if the coach does not meet those needs, then they automatically get frustrated or things like that, right? But just, I want you to kind of zoom out a little bit and just look about the whole system as a team itself. And that is the view of the coach. The coach does not view each individual child, and they more see how they fit in the system of the team. All right. And I think that's a viewpoint that not a lot of parents think about. All right. Looking at it from a coach's lens or a coach's perspective of how does this child contribute to the team and how can they help the team as a whole succeed. All right. And like I said, I'm not saying that they don't want your child to succeed, because the last point was we want everybody to succeed, but we also have to look at how this child and their talent and their skill set works within the entire system of the team itself. And that is a coach's perspective. That's a coach's lens that a lot of parents should just think about when they are viewing their child and they have these expectations of what they want for their child, and they're not being met on the field. Maybe their coach, have a conversation with the coach, because the coach may see something different that you don't see. All right. And they think that they fit better in a different part of the system as a team. Number 5 is we put players in positions to succeed. Okay. So, and this kind of piggybacks on what we said in number 4 of we see them and how they fit in the system, and that may contradict what the parent views of their child. And just always remember that the coach is putting your child in a position to succeed. And if that is third base or if that is right field, then, and you don't agree with that, try to look at it from the lens of what attributes does your child have. For example, if your child is in right field, right, and you think that right field, they don't get any balls, they're just sticking them in the outfield because they don't want any errors to happen or whatever, try to flip it, right? Does your child have a strong arm? Right? Maybe they put him in right field because they can make that throw to the infield quicker than other players do, right? Is your child fast? Maybe they can track down a fly ball. Can they catch well, right? Do they communicate well? There's a lot of different attributes to being an outfielder, where your coach can see that in their player, and they're like, oh, this player fits in this system as a right fielder because now that kind of balances out the field, and I have all of my players in each position. I have put them in a position to succeed based on their attributes and based on their skill set. All right, so always think about that coaches, they may not put your child in positions that you think that they should be, but they are putting them in positions to succeed based on their attributes, based on their assessments of their talent and their skill set. Number 6, we recognize effort way more than natural talent. And effort will take you so much farther in life, especially on the baseball field as a baseball player, than natural talent does. All right? You could be the most talented kid in the world, but if you have no effort and you don't put in any effort, you just rely on your talent, it's going to catch up with you at some point and you're going to fall behind. All right? But however, if you have effort and you put in effort on the field and you're hustling around and you're helping with pick up the balls and asking coach what you can do to improve, that will take you farther and you will surpass. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare nursery rhyme, right? Where the hare thinks that he's all the best, he's taking naps and everything. The tortoise just keeps on going and the tortoise ends up winning, right? The effort is the tortoise, right? You are always consistently putting in the effort and you will surpass the talented kids who don't do anything at some point. All right, and coaches recognize that. Coaches appreciate effort way more than natural talent because natural talent can only take you so far. It's all about effort that you put in to improve yourself and make yourself better. And number 7, we strive to develop the human being first and then the baseball player. We understand as coaches that our job is way more than just teaching your child how to play baseball. Right? We are a counselor, we are a role model, we are all of these other things that don't even involve coaching. We are here to develop your son or daughter into a quality human being, a successful human being, and we are here to teach them life skills that they can take way beyond the baseball field and way beyond their baseball playing days. Me, Coach Hart, some of my habits that I have right now, I learned from youth baseball. I learned from playing the game of baseball, and I am attributing it to my current life right now, right? Because not only the game teaches you life skills, but the people who coach you, the coaches, they are teaching you how to develop into a quality and a successful human being as well. So we understand that our job is more than just being a baseball coach. We understand that we are trying to help you as a parent develop and grow your child into a successful human being. All right? So that's something that I also want you to think about is that like a lot of parents maybe just see a baseball coach as just a coach who teaches the skills of baseball. We are way more than that, and we understand that. We understand that role that we have in just developing each of our players into a quality and a successful human being as they grow older. So these are the 7 things that most parents and other non-coaches don't realize about youth coaching. It's so much more than just teaching kids how to play baseball. And like I said, minus the unique situations that people experience, most coaches are good people who volunteer, who are learning as they go. They only want the best for their child. They only want the best for your child. They see the team as a whole, and they just want to be the best that they can be for your child on the baseball field and off the baseball field as they are growing into an adult human being, right? So hopefully you found this valuable. Hopefully this kind of set off some light bulbs for you if you've never thought about some of these things before. And like I said, if you ever have any questions about anything that your coach is doing, I'm sure that it would be okay to just go up and ask them and have a conversation about it. So thanks for joining in. If you're a coach and you would like to plan your next practice in the next 10 minutes, I have a free youth coaching starter pack down below. It has a free practice plan in there where you can plan your next practice in the next 10 minutes, all right? So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm Coach Hart. This is Building Better Baseball, the best place for baseball education, and I'll see you in another video real soon.